right? And I'm just so happy. But the Lord had dropped this in my spirit, right? Forgive your spouse 70 times 7. And we know that the Bible is like parables, right? Of course. So, with there being like a parable and so on and so forth, the Bible's also for like beginner, people that's been walking for a couple years and people that's been walking decades, right? So, this particular scripture that the Lord has brought to my attention, he was talking about forgive 70 times 7, right? And in my head, like me personally, my spouse, they're new every day. I've learned to forgive him, like for every, I'm like, something stupid might happen tomorrow, so let me forgive him today so the next stupid thing can happen. But God said, no, 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 daughter. That's a part of it. Don't get it twisted, right? Hold on. Sorry, y'all. But that is definitely a part of it, right? Like knowing that they're gonna, cause a trespass in the near future and not holding on to that trespass, you know what I mean? And that's just really for a little while until they know how to deal with the triggers. But then he said, there's some people, and I'm so excited with this revelation. This is not necessarily like the positive part, but it's positive and negative, right? So, like, some people have been cheated on by their spouses, right? And God is like, every single time that thought of your husband or wife cheating pops up, forgive them again. Forgive them every single time that negative trespass comes in your mind. Forgive them again. Every time you think about the way that they talk to you, because they didn't know who you were, they would never did that. Why would they do that if they knew who you were? Right? God said, forgive them again. So it's an ongoing thing. You may have to forgive them 70 times 7 on just one trespass. You get what I'm saying? So imagine there's like 10 trespasses. You're going to have to forgive each one of those 70 times 7. I'm just like, Lord, wow. It's an internal thing. It's a heart posture, you guys. Come on and bless that Tara. Hey, Tara girl, where you been? But you guys, I was just like, wow, God is really good. He's really doing this thing with healing. For the people whose hearts are open to healing, oh, you're so good. He's just so good. Oh my goodness. I'm going to sit with my Lord. Like, what? Like, do I have to share you, Father? But yes, you guys, God is so good. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. God is really heavy on the forgiveness. There's just certain things that, like, if you're able to do this thing, then He can trust you with this person. Okay? All right? Like, if you're able to forgive, if you're able to not harbor, resentment and all that, He's able to trust you. If He knows you're not going to give them some booty, okay, He can trust you. It's just specific things. God is not looking for perfection, right? We know every single day we covet. We do things in our hearts. You get what I'm saying? And covetousness is so simple. You could literally look at somebody and be like, wow, Lord, they're already walking in their blessings and I've been waiting for 5 years. Like, look what your heart just did without you realizing. And God is not beating you up, or even people that's outwardly sinning. Like, God is not looking for the walk to be perfect. He knew that when He called you, sanctified you, when He knit you in your mother's womb, you were going to sin every single day and He still qualified you. You get what I'm saying? So quit a lot. Some people are like worried about the sin and how to put a cap on the sin. You're going to sin regardless, whether you realize you did a thing, whether you did not realize it. You get what I'm saying? The main part is learning the tools that you need to move forward in a marriage. That's what you need to get. If you don't get anything else, say, Lord, teach me the tools that I need. When you get into this marriage, you're going to be sinning, child. Okay? People like, we don't look at those things. Gossip is not of God. You know what I mean? Covetousness is not of God. All that extra judging too much, like, that's why He says judge. You're going to be judged as the same measure that you judge. It's like, quit worrying about the sin nature of it and get those tools. Hold on to those tools. Listen to understand your husband or your wife or the brothers and not to respond. Okay? Know when to speak on a thing and when it's not even worth speaking on. You get what I'm saying? Or know when you need to go snitch in your prayer closet, y'all. Always forgive. Like, you might hold on to the same argument that you guys had that day. And baby, y'all was about ready to get into something else. You get what I'm saying? Later that night. So it's like, don't hold on to the same argument. The enemy is able to cause oppression and stuff like that when you hold on to like old stuff. You get what I'm saying? And there is, because I remember there was a sister that I was talking to when I was telling her about like what I was going through personally, and she said God had purpose for that, because then we were able to say what we wanted to say to one another anyways. So even in the head butting, God still has purpose. And just remember to take notes, okay? There's things that, we're going to cause in our spouses to come up that we're not trying to, you know? People who are like me out there, that the moment a hard conversation comes up, you budge, you put your jacket on, you're out the door. That causes rejection in your spouse. And when people feel rejected, that makes them not want to try. That makes them, you get what I'm saying? Like you're hurting them. You're reminding them of their father, their mother, their whoever raised them. You know what I mean? It's just a lot into that. You think that you're holding the peace, and really you're causing there to be a offense. You get what I'm saying? Torment. The enemy's going to torment them with that type of thing. So it's like, also knowing that we're not in control, but God is in control. And when we do mess up, that God uses our foolish mistakes to confound the wise. Our spouses are wise, whether we realize it or not. You don't have to see a thing for it to be there, right? Not hiding your gifts. I'm telling you guys, persecution, when you get persecuted for the gospel, count it all joy. Okay, blessed are those, and their reward is great, is what the Lord says, who get persecuted. Do you know how many times I've been called crazy? You're crazy, take your medication. Gaslighting. That's all that is, okay? So know what it is. Thank you. But yeah, you guys, I just wanted to share that with y'all. And I do miss y'all. I said, Lord, I'm going to have to, if I have some energy by the time I get home, I might upload another word. I got 2 words off the top of my head that I will be sharing with y'all. And these words are just, the way God speaks is just, oh my goodness. I'm so happy to have people that understand the assignment. The leaders that are called to me, the sheep that are called to me. You get what I'm saying? I'm so grateful, because I told the Lord, I said, I'm going to do what you say, because I made you a promise. I'm going to look crazy for you, but I made you a promise, because I knew I heard him through songs. But I said I didn't want to share it, right? I didn't want to share it. But seeing other people that are gifted like me is always encouraging. Another thing too, if you've been fearful of like stepping into your call, right? There has been many times that if you want to say sheep, because people follow, I just don't count it as sheep just because you subscribe to a person, because you yourself can be a leader. You know what I'm saying? I'm a leader and I follow leaders. So not everybody's a sheep that's connected to you. But the fact that the people connected to me that were ordained by God, how you guys' faith has fed me, okay? How you guys' comments have lifted me. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, wow, there's so much I would have missed out on by not stepping into the purpose that God has ordained for me. And I just was like, wow, you guys are so needed. You guys are just, we need y'all. We need each other. So many times when people have emailed me, thought that they were bugging me, and it's like, you're a confirmation. God went ahead. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, I just wanted to tell y'all, like, I really appreciate you guys. I really do. And then even the people, I remember like 3 weeks ago, God called me to do a thing, right? And I was trying to deny this thing. And then people had sent the provision that God had wanted me to use for that thing he told me to do. And I was like, goodness gracious, he had already put my name on the hearts of his people to sow into the thing that he had ordained for me to do. So it wasn't no denying. He said, go to this place. I said, well, Lord, you confirm it. These travel people called me. I said, I thought I was like tripping out a little bit. And then 3 people sold exactly what was needed. I said, my God. So yeah, because y'all, this ministry thing, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. And God is very much so serious about all of us. You know what I mean? For the people who like, you may feel like you don't have much discernment. You may feel like you're sowing seeds compulsively. You get what I'm saying? God will speak to the leaders. There's been times I had to send seeds back and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But God does not play about y'all, okay? He does not play about y'all. So just know if there's somebody with an ill heart posture or whatever coming at y'all, then God will humble them. And I see 515, so that is worthy. But yeah, y'all, God, he be going hard. And there's no what's the word for it? Like, quit trying to qualify yourself, because that's just stopping you from getting into position. That really is. Quit trying to qualify yourself. God had already qualified you before you were even born, before your parents even knew a thing. You get what I'm saying? So when you quit trying to qualify yourself and realize that God qualified you, you'll just be moving different. Like Saul didn't really have time. Saul didn't really have time to try to figure out if he was qualified or not. The same people you killing, you finna walk with. You get what I'm saying? You finna be sitting at the table. And that, you know how, okay, let's talk about it real quick. For Saul to have killed Christians, how many Christians was at the table and it's like, this man just killed my uncle, or this man just killed my grandma. You get what I'm saying? And then it's like, now you got to forgive Saul 70 times 7 because he just took some of your people out. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, man, that's just crazy. I know people's like, you want us to serve next to him in real life? And the Lord was like, yeah. I threw in the towel. I forgive him, but I'm done. Now, Sister Gall, you're not giving up on him. Remember, okay, you guys, let me tell y'all this. Anytime you throw in the towel on the kingdom spouse journey, God revealed it to you. God ordained it for you. God thought of it. God put it together. You're giving up on God, baby. Okay? So just know that making God suffer for a thing, you get what I'm saying, that he didn't put together. And then another thing too, some of us get offended, right? And I say us, right? When someone does something to us, the moment somebody does something to me, I said, like, Lord, now why would you even have this person do blah, 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 blah? We have to remember that, yes, people are using, free will and stuff like that. But God is not going to force people to do a thing. But if he's the thing is going to happen, is because he saw the end result. He saw that you're going to genuinely be happy with this person. He saw you guys breaking generational curses and stuff like that. The point of the matter is, my husband, for lack of words, is retarded, okay? And I love him to death. But for lack of words, he retarded. I need him, although he gets on my nerves, to break generational curses. So being selfless, being Christ-like, I'm going to continue to stand for this man, even though he irritates me. Now, one thing I will say is, it's okay to put the promise down on the altar, but to throw it, no, we ain't throwing it. It's fragile. We ain't throwing glass now. It's fragile. But yeah, I just want to say that, like, honey, don't give up. Don't give up on God. Don't give up on that promise. And honestly, truly, I tell you, if you're not worried about a thing, if you're not really worried about a thing, continue being single. Do you start the business? That's what I was doing. God was over here calling me to stand for a person. I said, I'm finna focus on myself. And I started, following Holy Spirit, which is now Jessica Walk with Jesus. But baby, I'm not finna be worried about this man. I have a future. I have a child. Okay? And that's what I did. I literally focused on my purpose. And then within me focusing on my purpose, God gave me more details about this man. And then finally, I chose to submit. I told y'all before, it took me 3 months. And it took me a year to really take it serious, the stance itself. So work on yourself. But this is what people be doing, though. People say, I'm not standing for this man. I'm throwing in the towel, right? Like how you was doing. I'm not saying this is you, but some people, not you. Well, it might be for you if I just say you. God might be trying to say a thing. People say that they're giving it up, but they're really giving up on this person, and they're going to try to pursue other people. That's the problem. If you're going to say, okay, let me operate in my singleness, operate in your singleness. Stay focused. Don't be texting a whole bunch of people. Don't be giving your number out to a whole bunch of people. Don't be doing a whole bunch of things with a whole bunch of people. Stand in what, you get what I'm saying? Stand in what you want, which is growth. You're not going to grow with these people. And if you know that you know that you know that this is your spouse, you're really just playing in your own face. But for real, for the people that I'm throwing in town, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Okay, focus on yourself. Don't get your phone number out. Don't be over here cupcaking on the phone, period. Because then that means you really are worried about it. And you're lying to yourself. And let me tell y'all something. When you're not honest with yourself, you cannot get far. You cannot get far. When you don't acknowledge the problem stays there. If you don't say, okay, I really am broke. Now, how do I fix it? The problem is still going to be you're broke because you're in denial. Okay? And like I said before with the agape love is not going to be there because this person is giving you attention, because this person is treating you well, because this person is responding. God loved us before we responded, even when we don't talk to him, even when we're angry, even when, you get what I'm saying, God love is still there. It's not a sexual love. So some people going to have to learn how to agape, okay? Without sexualizing their partner, without wanting anything in return, letting it wholeheartedly be there. And agape love looks like, okay, when I can pour out to you, I can pour out to you. When I cannot, I cannot. Stop overextending yourself. Stop people pleasing. Stop giving out of compulsion. You get what I'm saying? Because what's happening is you're getting frustrated with your spouse, right? I'm gonna get real specific. You're getting frustrated with your spouse because they're not receiving you and you're overdoing it. You get what I'm saying? You're overdoing it. You're overextending yourself. And at that point, who's accountable for your actions? That's like me telling somebody my business that don't like me, and then when they use it against me, I'm mad at them. I was in charge of me to protect me, and I gave it away. Okay? So it's just things like that, like make it make sense. Stop getting mad because you're people pleasing and you're doing all this and you're giving out a compulsion and all that. And now they're not receiving you. All right. And if you are in the middle of doing that, you are in the early stages. Like you are in the beginning of this dance. Like honestly. Because by the time to end, your discernment is going to be sharp. You're not even going to care about when they say a thing or do a thing. You're not really even going to look at this person as a person. You're going to be able to see them spiritually. You're going to be able to see their inner child come out, their brokenness. You're going to want to guard them even when they hurt you. Even when your child does a thing to you, you're not going to want to hurt them. You get what I'm saying? So if you're not already guarding up yourself, girding your loins, wanting to protect, if you don't have a natural like protection for your spouse, like men, yes, they're going to want to protect till death, right? But women, there's going to be a security that you want over your spouse, right? Emotionally, if that makes sense. You're going to want him to feel secure, all right? You also will be on your Proverbs 31 stuff, right? Let me make sure I'm spending time with my God first. Let me make sure I'm making time with my God. And then I'm able to cater to my husband and my household. You get what I'm saying? Let me think about the book. Let me think about ministry. How do I expand ministry wise? How do I get more eyes, on the gospel? How do we start getting people out the pulpit, right? You get what I'm saying? Period. So it's just things like that, y'all. Like if you're not looking for a bigger picture or looking at the bigger picture or trying to find expansion, you're not where you need to be. And being in denial about you not being where you need to be is not going to help you. Saying like, oh, I think I got this down, and you're nowhere near purpose is not going to help you, love. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm just really being honest. Everybody has the job of spreading the Great Commission, which is the gospel. And I said before, your testimony can be an expansion of the gospel. In the book of Revelation, there was no Bibles or anything like that. They won souls over with the testimony, the power of their testimony. That's another reason why I'm like, wow, okay, let me share, Lord. Let me keep sharing to these people. Let me keep pouring out when I can. Because I learned to pull back. Your first home is your ministry. And if you're not able to articulate that well, you're still not in the end. You're not close to the end yet. You get what I'm saying? I just got to be honest. So, like, no. You can win people over with your testimony. You can literally simply, start that podcast and testify. It's power in your testimony. It's power in your life. Testimony means I'm telling my life stories and I'm talking about how I overcame that. You get what I'm saying? So it's just things like that that people, but kingdom marriage, all right? Kingdom. Listen to it. Kingdom. What kingdom? The kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven marriage is for the people who are about to wholeheartedly serve. You get what I'm saying? Wholeheartedly serve. Not, this is not the people that's outwardly they want to look righteous. It's not, I'm not talking about that type of stuff. Righteousness is not from a man's point of view. God makes people righteous. You get what I'm saying? But kingdom marriage is to expand the kingdom of heaven. Okay? And that can simply look like I don't know. I see this family called the Henry family, right? I really feel like God is using them to show kingdom marriage. She talks about people always in her comment section, why don't you get your tubes tied? You got 9 kids. She's literally saying, I have dedicated my body over to the Lord Jesus Christ, and I will not go and play God in my own life and tie my tubes. They just show their family stuff and their children and them cooking, and they go live. I think she had, I don't like to tell people's story, but I think she had 1 kid with someone else and 8 with this other guy. This man came over when she was 17 in her brokenness. I think he was 24, and then he married her, and he hasn't left her since. And they talk about how marriage is hard. They're very transparent. That's a kingdom marriage. They use their life is a walking testimony of God's hand on them. You get what I'm saying? So everybody's thinking kingdom marriage is like, oh, I need to be opening the Bible, cracking the Bible. God's hand on your life and him not leaving you is proof that he is here, proof that he is alive. She talks about Jesus, and people talking about Jesus every 5 minutes does not make them righteous love. Okay? How do they carry themselves? How are they holding themselves? Are they loving? Are they kind? Are they giving? You get what I'm saying? Do they follow basic Bible principles? Look at the disciples. Look at Peter. Look at Paul. Look at the people that follow Jesus. Like, really read into them, into the scriptures, and see how they operated. Ask yourself that. Jesus got a question. Why don't they fast? Why are the Pharisees fasting? Why your disciples don't fast? Mind your business. You get what I'm saying? When it came down to it, Peter had been walking with Jesus for a few years. You get what I'm saying? And Peter's first instinct was to cut this man's ear off. He forgot he even got baptized. He said, I forgot I got dipped in some water, Lord. And what did Jesus do when he got out of line? When he was on some murderous stuff? Jesus then took a charge that would have been unto death on him, and he healed that man's ear. He corrected him, but what did he do? He covered him at the same time. So look at that. God is not asking for perfection, y'all. He's asking that you just try. And did Peter do it again? No, he did not. Go and sin no more. God knows we're going to sin. He's saying be very mindful of your actions. That's what he's saying. So when you do a thing, keep God in your mind. When you mess up, also keep him in your mind. Talk to him. Lord, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm very intentional on not repenting of a thing until I know I'm done. Until I know I'm really done with a thing. Then I'm like, okay, Lord, because I don't want to go to the throne lying. Okay, I'm sorry for cussing that person out. I probably got two more times up in me. And that's really back in the day. I really don't like to do that. I might, if I'm really fuming, I might cuss to get my point across, but I'm not going to. You will be in that. I don't do all that no more, because touch not his anointed, do his prophetic no harm. A lot of things I don't do is because I actually feel the Lord. And fear of the Lord is the first to understanding. But yeah, just be very mindful when y'all moving around. Be kind to people. You don't know when you're going to come into contact with an angel. You really don't. And then when we do nice things, the angels, they rejoice. We entertain angels all for doing that. But yeah, y'all, read y'all Bible or let it read you. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. Forgive 70 times 7. See y'all.